Alrighty. Well, that's it. I think we're live, boys. I think we're live.
Wait,
I think we're
tell
in.
you what, I'll take a pew with me motor.
Looks like we're in. So, oh well, welcome to the first live stream on the Captain's Vlog. I'm Captain, otherwise known as Justin, and on with us we've got Sam, KDN, and Kiret. A couple of fellow Honda owners that are roped in off Instagram to come and have a little chat about the Honda gear. So yeah, we're all big Honda fans at the end of the day, and Sam's currently sitting in one, doing a K. What do you say? Doing a K swap on a CRX already at this time of night.
K swap CRX VT.
Nice. What flavour K's going in that?
Just an A2. I've been at UK EP3. Few usual bolt-ons, obviously, with it being a K swap. You've got exhaust manifold, 3-inch exhaust, Skunk 2 Ultra,
Nice.
Street inlet, Skunk 2 drop-in cams, fancy flywheel, M factory plated diff, 4.9 final drive.
That's going to be a ripper. There's some.
It's going to be quick.
Yeah, because they're light already, aren't they?
They're very light.
They're
very light.
What are they weighing? What's sort of the main difference between that and an EK? Would you say probably what 70 or 80 kilos, or more?
I'd say probably maybe a little bit more. I mean, CRX has got quite a lot of glass.
Yeah, that's true.
The boot lid's got a considerably bigger piece of glass in it than say an EK at least. But they're physically they're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
As a car, they're very easy to get sub 1 ton.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the trouble with an EJ9 is people quote these numbers on the internet. My car weighs 850, bro. My car weighs 900, bro. Well, I've stripped mine out, put a really lightweight roll cage in it. It's only a 4-point bolt in, so it's not like a super duper thing. No. And with about
CRXs and EFs are like high 900s, are they?
Yeah, I think like 980 or something like that. Yeah. Standard.
So they are already lighter. They're about 100 kilo lighter than a stock EJ9, right off the rip. So, and I've got mine weighed at 1040 with fuel in the tank. I think I had just under half a tank of fuel. So
yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. When my old coupe was up and running a few years ago, we weighed that when it had a full tank of fuel.
Yeah,
and that had nothing in it. I mean, I'm talking, it didn't even have a cage. It was like a half dash. no heater matrix, no blower unit, no nothing. 1 seat, a harness. I think that came in at 1070.
Jesus.
So
yeah, it's pretty mad, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, first gen CRXs started at 760 kilo.
Oh, they're tiny.
Yeah, the first gen ones, that they had no crash bars or nothing. There was nothing in the way of safety in those.
No, you'd be better off. You come out the other side better in a car crash in a crisp packet.
Yeah.
Than a Mark 1 CRX.
Just pretend it's a motorbike. Don't have any straps, mate. Just exit through the window.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Fast Furious ejector seat.
Yeah.
Straight out.
Awesome. So, if anybody either watching or looking at this later don't know Sam, what's your Instagram? Is it it's just your name in it?
Yeah, Samuel_KDN.
And you've got another one as well for the business, haven't you?
Business pages, KDN_Honda_works. KDN Honda Works.
I'll amend the video description when we're done, and I'll add those in. So if anybody comes across this at a later date, they can just click on that and go and have a little look. See, but how many Hondas do you currently own, Sam? You've got a few on the go. I know you've got the coupe, and I know you've got the DC2 and the EG. But there's some others lurking, isn't there?
There is. I've got, like I said, I've got my old Civic coupe. I've had that knocking around for like 2-3 years now, just as a shell, and I can't bring myself to get rid of it. Bit sentimental. I've got my white DC2. That's K swapped. I have another 96 DC2 in red. That's going to go through a full restoration. Original B18C, 55,000 miles.
Oh, beautiful. Low mileage car.
Yeah, very low mileage car. It's going to
Ki-
make a
ki-
beauty of a car when it's done.
Kiret knows about the low mileage chassis life, eh?
Yeah, he's trumped me on that one.
Yeah.
What's your
The pot lookout was I don't know how the heck like that even exists.
What was the mileage on yours? On your car?
Something around 13.
13?
Wow.
Mate, that's a fucking unicorn, that thing. Jeez.
Well, I bought this. I bought that. I don't want to jump ahead of the flow of conversation, but yeah, I bought the. It took me about 2-3 months to like find or come across that car.
Yeah. We'll cover you. I want to cover yours in more detail after when we've gone over Sam's stuff because
we need to get through Sam's.
Yeah. No, because I've got some specific questions that might upset the internet a little bit regarding values and all of the chat that goes on. But we'll come to that because that's a really interesting conversation. But anyway, so you've got two DC2s. The red one's the 96 spec low mileage. That she's a keeper. You're going to restore that. So
yeah, I'm going to restore that. It came as a full car. I think it was only lightly modified anyway. It was up at auction actually. Back in when was it now? It was January, February, March, April, May.
Yeah,
last year. I can't remember. I got it last year. I'm sure. It came up at auction, and the guide price was like 3,500 quid, and I thought I'm on to an absolute winner here.
Yeah.
Like that's a cheap DC2 given the current market. And anyway, I wasn't the only one that thought that. Everyone thought that.
Yeah. Once that gets shared on the internet, mate, that's it. Game over for that price, isn't it?
I kept it quiet and didn't share it anywhere. And it came up on the DC2 owners page, and I was like, "That's it, gonna go through the roof."
Yeah.
And it did. Everyone thought I was a bit of an idiot for paying what I paid for it. I'm not going to disclose what I paid for it.
Yeah.
It was enough.
At this point, it's sort of irrelevant, isn't it? Because that car, if you're going to do a full restoration, you're going to put money into that car, and its value intrinsically is going to keep rising because it's it's a 96 spec, so I don't know. I mean, you'll know more than I do. I don't know if a 96 spec's more sought after than a 98 spec, but I've got to be honest, I'm a bit of a fan just because it was the first proper front-wheel drive Type R car that came.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, everyone seems to have I think the 98s are more desirable for whatever reason. Slightly more aggressive styling with the bumpers and different lights and bigger wheels and all that jazz. As a standard car, they come better equipped.
Yeah, but how many of them are left standard now?
Exactly.
So it does become somewhat irrelevant because the brakes are the brakes are different, aren't they? On the 96. They're the 262 on the 96 spec, are they?
262 on the front, 240 on the rear on a 96.
So it shares the same as like a EK4 VTI.
Exactly. Yeah, just the same.
Yeah.
I think that you got to think when they were knocking these out, like the 96 tags. I mean, the EKs and the EJs and EK4s were just about coming round. Well, first production year actually.
Yeah, 96.
96. But the EG6 before the DC2, again, they used 262 front hubs and 240 rears.
Yeah.
When for all intents and purposes, the hubs and the trailing arms are identical, the brakes are identical. It's only once you start getting into shocks and springs and rates and damp. And
then 98 spec all change on the chassis. Well, not on the chassis, but on the brake side of things, because that's when they went up to the larger 282, 262.
That's right.
Setup, and they went to 5-star, and they went to 16-inch wheel, I think, didn't they? After that.
That's right. Yeah.
So a few variances and differences between the two model years there, and then the Integra stayed like that until it finished its production.
Yeah, pretty much.
It didn't change, did it? I don't even know if there was a facelift. I don't think there was a facelift after that either, was there?
No, I think they ran them through to like 2000.
Yeah.
And then that was it. That was the end of the line. They didn't really change a great deal. Obviously, there's different options you could buy with it. I think you had more options as to what you could and couldn't have with a 96.
Yeah.
Like whether you wanted ABS or not, that was up to you. I see a lot of 98s and they've all got ABS fitted as standard. I suppose the more modern the car becomes, the more in line with safety requirements they had to be.
Yeah. The more stuff for us K-swappers to pull out again, though, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere.
Like, we don't need that where we're going. Yoink, in the bin.
Yeah, that's it. We don't want that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And do that Type RX as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is that an EK9 hiding in the middle there, is it? Or is that
Yeah,
an E?
decent car.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the picture of your red car where you've got the red DC and then
Oh,
you've got the black Civic in between.
Black Civic in the middle. That's a good friend of mine's. Josh's is that.
Oh, okay.
That's an EJ9
With a K in it.
Yeah, K swapped. Really, really nice car actually. I'm actually slightly envious of how it drives because.
I remember you saying about that. Is that the one that's got it's not full interior but got a cage?
Yeah, full interior, half cage. It's like Club Sport spec.
Yeah, nice. But it's
just the
quiet
way-
and it rides the road well.
It's really, really good. It just does everything really well.
Yeah. What suspensions you got on that setup wise?
Yellow speed.
Coils.
Yep, Yellow Speed Dynamic Pro coilovers.
Are they rebound adjustable as well as damping or just once?
Not rebound adjustable. You've got like 32-way dampening.
Right. Yeah. So
Dampen just.
So it'll be like a single tube, and it will do both damping and rebound as one click. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
For the value, for the money, like the yellow, I've run Yellow Speeds on my Coupe and my Integra. The EG's got the premium competition coilovers on.
Yeah.
The Dynamic Pro Sports for like an all-round car are fantastic. They suffer a little bit on the small bumps, like the rebounds not quite there. Like Cadwell at the bottom of the mountain, when you come steaming in there, that's quite under the bridge, under the gantry. That's quite rough down there. You can feel it. The car becomes a little bit unsettled because the rebound can't just quite keep up with the bump. But for the money, they're fantastic. You can wind them right down to the softest setting on the road, and they're comfortable and compliant enough.
That's where I'm at on my car currently with the HSDs, but I'm finding them on like little country back roads. They're a little bit sketchy. They don't inspire confidence to push the car really. It's a wee bit bouncy,
I'd recommend the Yellow Speeds all day. For the money, they're fantastic. They really are. I mean, suspension's subjective. It depends what you want. You could spend as little. I think the Yellow Speeds like 696 or 695 or something like that off Tegua. And they're a good coilover for the money, or you can spend absolutely thousands on Olins and Optum.
Oh, hey up, Carlos is here.
Yeah, mate.
All right, mate. This is me mate Carlos, boys.
Now then, mate.
How we doing?
He's.
Right. I've just been listening for the last couple of minutes. Just
good lad. I didn't even see you sneak in the back door there, son. I left the door open. Oh, hello, Alex is in. Hello, how many we got in the back door here? Anyway, we're all here now. But so coilovers are an important thing. Kiret, you need to sort yourself out with some of them, mate. You need to sort that monster truck out.
I enjoy it. It's comfortable.
Looks like he's ready for a world rally stage.
Finland on the jump.
You're going for that sump clearance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Not going to be smashing an alley pan or cracking an alley pan or even denting a steel one with that height.
No, that's not fun.
Killing an engine.
That's a good question, actually, Sam. Do you if you got a customer coming in looking to do a K swap with you? Do you recommend them to run? Say it's an EJ9 chassis. Do you recommend them to run the steel oil pan, or do you just go with the alloy and hope that they're going to run enough ride height to not smash its face in?
I kind of try and sway them to run a sensible ride height, preferably on 16-inch wheels.
Yeah.
So I've currently got a facelift black EK9 in with a K swap that I've just done for him.
Yeah.
And he's adamant he wants to run 15-inch wheels.
Okay.
And now it's not a problem as long as you take your ride height into consideration.
Yeah.
And the same with the CRX, and the CRX is probably the worst for it because the engine bays are so shallow and space is at a premium anyway. He wants to run his 15s and wants to have it at a ride height that looks good, but his sump's going to be like a cat's whisker off the floor.
I think you need to have at least a 2-finger Kit Kat gap above your tyre at minimum.
Not Rizzler spec.
Nah, Rizzler spec's no bueno. That you're gonna smash stuff up big time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's what we did with ours. Because Carlos and the lads, they all helped me loads with like ideas and prepping stuff to build my car. And one of the things that we talked about when I first put the car engine in the car, I looked underneath and I was like, "Fuck, that sump is low." And I'd already committed to running 15s with a 195/50 Nankang anyway. That was already in the plan. So Carlos sorted me out with a steel oil pan and put the baffle in that, and that actually gives you about 5 or 6 mil. I know it's not a huge amount, but 5 or 6 mil plus a bit of rhyodite.
It all matters. It all helps.
Yeah, and so far so good. I've hit some pretty nasty potholes and bumps in the road, and the only thing that tends to skid is me dirty great silencer in the middle of the tunnel underneath the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, fingers crossed we're all good.
The only thing you got to watch out for, we've seen before on track, like again Cadwell up the mountain on the right hander, they've got like this great big horrible dirty sausage of a curb.
Yeah.
K24 steel sump on a K20 sits incredibly close to the oil pickup.
Yeah.
I have seen one dented that starved the engine.
Oof.
So just one to bear in mind if you ever do have a big whack.
Yeah, you'd feel that though, wouldn't you? Anyway, if you hit it hard enough to bend it, you're probably going to know about it in the car. And a smart guy would be like, shut her down, pull her over, check it out, and see what's going on. Yeah,
hang it in neutral and coast to the side of the road.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I know these are old 90s shit boxes, but to build a K-swap costs a considerable sum of money, and you've got to be mindful of that stuff when you're out there caning them. They're built to take it, of course, but obviously you don't want to lose an engine just through being a dickhead on the track.
No, not with how the prices of K20s are going now.
Exactly. That's why I've got a spare in the garage.
Yeah, well,
I say a spare. I've got a spare block. We don't know if it's usable yet. But,
your engine was your engine was a bit of a mishmash of all sorts, wasn't it?
Oh well, yeah.
Ultimate pick a mix.
Brock in the chat, yes, mate. That was your K24 pan. I think you both bought me one, and I think it was Brock's we used. But no, yeah. Basically, the first engine that I bought was a catastrophe, 100% catastrophe. Cylinder 4 piston was slapping its tits off in the wall of the chamber, and it just made an absolute mess. So that got pulled out. I got the cylinder head remanufactured, and it's actually your old engine, isn't it, Carlos? The out of your FN2. So it's a Z4 block and the EP3 PRB head, and then a K24 oil pan.
And K24 cam assembly, because yours was all meshed.
True.
Oh, like the cam towers, the journals.
Yeah, the cam towers.
Yeah, the cams were fucked as well. Yeah, the journals are just like completely wrecked themselves.
It's had an oil starvation problem, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I bought the engine as having had bearings replaced in the bottom, and I should have known, but I didn't, and I got excited and I threw some money at some things, and it happened. But yeah, we're out the other side of it now, and the car's an absolute fucking ripper now. And the motor is stout, so big up to Brock Hadlow. B had built. He put our engines together, both mine and Carlos's engine that we ran on the dyno at the weekend. And they're fucking solid units now, so awesome for that. Yeah, it's good shit, mate.
Yeah, it sounds good. It certainly, I watched a few videos. It certainly rips.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun car. I can't wait to get it properly on track next year now. I had a little taster at Silverstone. That was fun. But I was very, very tentative with everything because the car hadn't been running that long, and it was all a bit new, you know. And I started to get into the feel of it toward the end of the session, but it were only 20 minutes. So I really could have done with booking another 2 20-minute sessions on that particular day. And but I need to upgrade some stuff, but I'll go into that probably another day because got to save the content.
We'll drag it out of it.
Yeah. There. So what's happening with the coupe then, Sam? That used to be your old track steed, wasn't it?
It was my old track steed. We did lots and lots and lots of track days in that. Never liked Cadwell. Always used to brake at Cadwell.
I remember that.
Yeah, always used to brake Cadwell. Loved Alton. Never broke down at Alton. Loved it.
Funny, isn't it?
I pulled it when I got my white teg. I got a notion that it was a good idea to use my coupe as a donor car.
Yeah.
And basically, I got excited because I had a DC2 and I wanted to drive it.
So the engine come out of the coupe.
Yeah, engine came out of the coupe. Everything went into the DC2, and this was about just over 2 years ago now. And thought, well, look, I've had my use out of it. I'll put it to one side and I'll take whatever else is good on it off it, and I'll get rid of it. 2 years later, I've still got it. I've said a million times that I'm going to scrap it.
It's still there.
and it's still here. Every time I look at it, I think it's just, I don't know. I've had lots and lots of very, very good days in it.
Yeah, nostalgia, mate.
Yeah, it's a bit of sentimental value, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, it owes me nothing. I bought it 4 years ago for like 300 quid.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, well,
them were the days.
They were the days, mate. They were. It owes me nothing. It's still rolling. It wouldn't take. It's still got the engine mounts in it. It's still got a DC2 subframe and rack and roll bars and.
You just need a K24 in there, and then you're good, innit?
Yeah, well, I've put one together. I built an engine for it.
Oh, happy days!
Nice.
I built an engine for it. I've got a gearbox for it. Like I say, the mounts are still in there, so like it really won't take a great deal of effort to make it a car again.
Yeah.
It's just time. Like
standard.
The red tags to do. I've got all the customers' cars to do. Which just never seems to slow down. I never seem to get a minute to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, long term, maybe one day perhaps. Once if I get the time or I have all the bits there ready and waiting for it, and I can just throw a weekend at it. I'll get it back together one day, but till then, it can stay where it is.
The old faithful.
Old faithful. It were great.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. I like that car. I mean, I love the EK. That's my flavour. But the coupes, I was never really a massive fan. But for track work, they just seem to work. Like that, I don't know if it changes. I don't know how much it changes the weight distribution by having the coupe rear end on it versus a hatch. Obviously, I think probably the glass is a little bit lighter because it's smaller, and maybe it pushes the weight out a bit further. But you got a better deck for putting a big ass track wing on it, and they just look sick for track.
Yeah, I had a Cusco GT wing on mine, and that's one thing I regret selling massively.
No.
Yeah, I got rid of it because, like I said, I thought I was never going to put it back on the road again. I'd use it as a track car again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked amazing when it was all together. Don't get me wrong, the photos do it justice. So it was a track car for 2-3 years, wasn't it? So it's got battle scars. It's got marks on the bumper and on the wings from hitting the floppies at Cadwell, and
not a garage queen, mate.
No, not a garage queen, but it did the job.
Awesome. So that brings us round quite neatly then to the little yellow bumblebee.
Yeah, my Nightmare EG.
It's not gone well, is it? How long was it in the paint shop for? You had issues with that, I remember.
Like 3 months, more, maybe more. It went to him in May. April, May. Yeah, it went to him in May just after we'd moved into this new unit.
Yeah.
And he promised me that I could have it back in a month and a half. A month and a half in maybe 2 months, I got a photo of it from a friend that had been up to get a quote off him. And it was sat outside, partly primed, partly rubbed down at night, pitch black, no windows in it, no doors on it, in the pouring rain.
That's nightmarish, mate. That is a shambles.
There was still water in it when I got it back from paint.
Jesus.
And then the paint. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks pretty good. I'm kind of over it now. I threw a bit of a paddy over it for a few weeks after I got it back. Like, for the money I paid for the paint, it should be better.
Yeah.
But now I've used it a bit, I'm just kind of like, whatever. You can't see it when you're inside the car. Enjoy driving.
And it was was it a full in and out job, the whole chassis?
Engine bay exterior, door shuts.
Right.
The interior is still to do one day, but I do eventually plan on having a cage put in it, so that could wait.
Fair enough, innit? And
that's another one.
Cage, are you gonna quit?
Say again, mate.
Is it gonna be a dash dodgy cage? Are you gonna?
No, I'm gonna buy another dash and cut it.
Okay.
I'll get another dash and cut it. You can still get EG dashes for reasonably sensible money, so that was never the plan. The plan was always to make it a road car. But when I got it, it had so little of the interior left in it, which at the time wasn't a problem. But fast forward 2 years, when everything's gone sky high in price, like try finding SIR interior parts for sensible money.
Yeah,
it's impossible. There's people asking like 500-600 quid for a centre console.
What? Behave.
Yeah.
Like,
there comes a point where you're like, I don't even need that anymore. Because it gets so expensive. It's just like, screw that.
I'm up north and we're from Yorkshire and we're all a bit tight up here.
Hey, said that.
Yeah, but I'm not paying 600 quid for a bit of injection molded plastic.
No, I don't fucking blame you.
So that it's like the rest of like everything. It's just turned into a bit of a can do a bit of both. But
Yeah.
I've got plans for it. The engine that's in it at the minute, actually, the B18 that's in it.
I'm just looking
it's
at
out.
that now on the stream, on the live stream now.
Yeah,
Is that from the red one?
That's from the red one. When I
Right.
took the engine out of the red, like I say, that's getting stripped down to a bare shell full resto.
Mm.
And I got the EG back. I'm building an engine for the EG, which I'll go into in a second. We got the car back. It was Mims. Coming up that weekend, and we got it back the Wednesday before Mims, and we had this mad idea that we could put it together before Mims, from a bare rolling, freshly painted shell to a full car and take it on the Sunday to Mims.
Oh shit.
So we had the B18, and like I say, I had the B18 running in the teg. It sounded sweet, 55,000 miles, all that jazz. But it's not been run properly since 2012, so it's kind of untested.
Yeah.
So I threw a cam belt and a water pump at it, did the valve clearances, and changed all the fluids, drained them all out, flushed it through, etc. And bolted it in my EG, and it rips.
Happy days.
It rips. It's good, but that engine will be coming back out.
To go back in the red car.
That's going to go back in the red car because it's all
matching numbers. Yeah. It
makes
a lot of sense that.
Yeah, 100%. It was more so that I didn't get the DC2 done and all nice and fresh, put the engine in it, and then find out it's a smoky heap.
Been there, ain't you, Carlos?
Oh yes.
Fucking smoky heap engines. Holy shit,
Dry
bags.
your eyes, mate.
Yeah.
All been there.
Yeah, I think. Well, but Carlos and I both got burnt with shit engines in pretty quick succession.
Yeah. Just gummed up and oil control rings. So like literally, like the oil could not go back down the side of the piston. And I basically have like pools of oil trying to compress, and then it's just going out the exhaust. It's not pretty.
Wow, that bad.
Oh yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Oh, smoke screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. So that now that engine's proven and I'm happy with it and the gearbox is all good, etc., that's going to be coming back out over winter. I'm waiting on the final bits and bobs to arrive for my other B18C. I was going to K-swap it, but
yeah,
like I've got the teg.
It's old now, mate. Everyone's running a fucking K-swap.
Well, that's it. And I properly missed having a B series car. They just sound amazing.
Well, yeah, Brock's just saying in the chat he loves the B. He's a big fan of the B series, and there's also another chap in there saying Easy Bert. I was missing his hang on, swapped it for a Glanzer. I swapped a EG B18 Turbo for a Glanzer.
What on earth did you do that for?
I don't know, but clearly he's regretting it now. Bless him. What does he say? Mine was a B1680 Turbo. It blew up, and B18 swapped in, banged the turbo on, and then got bored. Oh dang! How'd you ever get bored of that? B series VTEC donk and choo choo noises.
Honestly,
that was where I wanted to go originally until I got convinced to go K.
Yeah, well, all I wanted years ago was a B18 CEG, and then I drove a K-swapped EG, and that was it. I was sold.
Yeah, I think that the drivability of a K series engine it is definitely superior.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they can't rev quite as hard in factory OEM spec and all that jazz, and the VTEC's more savage on the crossover and all this stuff. But as a package,
you can't. Yeah, for something just to drop in and go quickly.
This is why Ks are ending up in Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes, Volkswagens, and just about Ferraris as well. Correct, good shout.
Yeah.
That dude in America with the yellow thing, mate.
A Daytona.
Yeah, K-swap the world. Like it's for me in the 10s and 20s of this century. It is what the Vauxhall Red Top was through the whole of the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, because they found their way into fucking everything at one point.
They did.
You couldn't.
The difference is the K20 is actually a good engine.
Yeah. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks.
2 litre red top, 2 litres, and it makes like what 140 horsepower.
Yeah. Oh, we got our first technical question coming in, but Brock's already took care of it. Thank you, Brock. No, dash loom doesn't need to be changed if you're doing a K swap and an EK, because you buy the conversion harness that connects your ECU and your dash harness all together. So you just have to run a couple extra wires for the on dash coolant temperature sensor and one for the fuel pump, and that is pretty much it. As far as swaps go, it's pretty straightforward.
If you use the BoostWorks,
yeah, that's what we used.
eBay, it's literally 4 wires.
Yeah.
4 wires to solder in, and the rest of it's all plug and play. Super
easy. Well, unless you're me, right? Because I bought one off him in 2018 for a 99 2000. Because bear in mind, actually, whoever's doing this, what's his name, DK King, if it's pre-face or facelift, there is a different wiring harness that you need, like a conversion harness. They are different because the dash looms are different. So bear that in mind. But yeah, so I bought a facelift kit off of the Portuguese fella, BoostWorks, and it arrived, and it sat on a box behind my PC for like 2.5 years before I even opened it or touched it. Went to go put it in the car, and me and the lads, we spent fucking hours trying to figure out the wiring in the car. Didn't get anywhere. None of the wiring diagrams that we could find online matched the pin out that I could actually see on the plug in the car at all. It was a shambles. And I basically got a bit of a kick in on the emails from the chap at BoostWorks saying, if you don't know how to run a constant earth, you shouldn't be near a car's electronics, yada, 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 yada. And it's like, hang on a minute, mate. Oh. It's sold as a plug-and-play kit, and you're telling me that I should now be a qualified auto electrician. You might want to work out which side of the fence you're on. Anyways, it was actually a hybrid racing diagram from America that solved the mystery, because the colour codes on the wires have never changed, have they?
No, they haven't.
So that was the one consistent thing between a pre-face and a facelift EK-EJ chassis, was the fact that the colour codes were right. So we hooked it up to the right colour code. Bosh, winning. We're away. She fired straight up. Even though the engine was fucked, it did fire up.
You knew you were on the right track.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, going back to the original point, BoostWorks conversion harness. I know he has now updated both the product and his instructions after those conversations with me. So
he has. I use them. I've used them a lot now. They're fantastic.
Super.
Really awesome. Good for the money. Can't go wrong.
Well, there we go. I think we've already covered a fair old chunk there, mate. So unless you've got any extra bits you want to add in, Sam, or have we missed any cars? I don't think we've covered all your cars now, haven't we?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Going back to the B18, like I said, that's going back into the tag. The engine I'm building for the EG is fairly special.
Go on. Talk to me.
It's a fully built B18C.
Nice.
Lightened and balanced crank, 4-piston oil pump. Skunk 2 rods, Y-score pistons. It's overboard 2 mil.
2 mil. Nice.
2 mil. 12:5:1 compression ratio.
Ooh. No turbos then?
No, I don't really do turbos. Hondas have always been about a screamy NA car for me. I think that's where they're the best.
I hear that.
NA is best. NA is best.
It is.
It is best.
Small margin for error.
Brock's gonna go nuts in the chat in a minute. He loves the boost.
There's no wrong with boost. It just causes a lot of problems, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes them not unreliable, but less reliable than they would be otherwise.
Well,
it just makes you hit the hedge faster.
Yeah, that's it. When you finally get some grip.
And it ain't the speed that kills you, is it?
It's just stopping that does.
Sudden stopping, yeah.
Yeah, how quickly you come up with a stop.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fruity little engine.
That sounds pretty special. That does, mate. Fair play.
Supertech valves.
So you'll be smashing some revs on that thing.
I'm building it to rev to somewhere near 10k.
Fucking hell.
Should be a screamer.
Wow.
When you're done, mate, we definitely need to. I need to get up north with my cameras.
Yeah, definitely.
Come and see, hear, and experience that, because that'd be a proper machine.
Oh yeah, it'd be a blast.
Maybe when we do the NC 500, or if we're up on the way there or on the way back.
I'm waiting for them to invent. I'm waiting for them to invent earplugs and bum cushions good enough for half track car to go on that journey.
Yeah, that's it. I don't fancy taking the ED up to Scotland with that engine in it.
No.
I don't think.
I think what we'll do is, I've got an 8th gen Accord Tourer that we use as the family car diesel. But I think once we've had a new clutch in that, maybe I'll take that, the big comfy car with the Bose sound system.
You do right. You do right. But no, that's about it for me, I think.
Fantastic. Well, mate, look, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your evening and that case swap there to come and chat a few Honda stories and shit and show us your cars and that. So I really appreciate that. That's wicked, man.
Not a problem, mate.
But you're more than welcome to hang on and still contribute, mate. Or if you're busy, you can crack on.
I am going to have to dash.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Keep chipping away at this CRX.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sometime in 2023 by the time it's finished. But yeah, I'll definitely drop in again.
Tidy. Nice one. Cheers, Sam.
No worries,
Take it easy, mate.
Take it easy, lads.
Ta-da.
Cheers, buddy. Bye.
Oh. Well, bugger me. He's got some nifty gear there, hasn't he, boys?
Yes.
Nifty gear indeed. Right, I'm going to quickly grab a beer, and then we're going to get on to the little special red EK, I think. Where's my pictures? You've sent me a few pictures, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, it should be there. I can send more if you want, but these are probably the best ones. The rest of them are shitty phone pictures. Or Huawei pictures.
Oh, there we go. I'll leave that on the stream screen for a minute. Let us feast our eyes on that. It's still left the 1.4 badge on it. Legend. I thought about doing that on mine, but I had a bit of an issue with a shit boot lid, so I had to get rid of it. But right, I'm just going to quickly grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab a drink and go.
Ugh, he's not even putting any inspirational music or anything on. Ugh.
Inspirational music, did I hear?
Yeah.
I've got some music going, I think. Can you not hear it?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
Got some Stream Beats EDM from...
I don't think you're capturing it, though. I don't think it's coming through.
It should be coming through. Is it coming through on desktop audio?
Definitely want that kit car with a K in it.
Oh, hang on. I've got the speakers muted. How about now?
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, it was coming through.
Yeah, you can
Coming
hear
through
that
now,
now.
yeah. Right. Yeah, my bad. That whole time I had the speakers muted. Which is fine, because we've been gassing, so... Right, here we go.
All right. You play music.
Yeah, there is a bit of music. It's been going all night in my ears. I just hadn't unmuted my speakers so anyone else can hear. Just being selfish, like I'm just doing myself. Oh dear.
Sharing's caring.
That's it, mate. So right, tell us the story, bro. Where did this car come from? What led you to take on this rather mad project?
Depends how far back you want to go. Do you want to go to the origins?
Why not? I've got nothing but time.
I don't know why. It was one of those cars, you know, when you play Need for Speed,
Yeah.
and then you have to pick like your first car.
And
I was gravitated
they always give you a shit budget, so you can only buy a little shit box.
Yeah, it's like 50p or whatever. But EK, man, it's just been EK9 specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing. Remember watching like the best motoring videos.
Best motoring, legends, mate.
It was the old lad on there, old boy.
Me and the lads have spent many a night losing ourselves in old hot version and all them old JDM videos.
Forget Netflix, forget all that. It's all about fucking hot version and best motoring.
This Honda belongs to Kiret up north. We're doing an online stream. It's alright, my lads come to investigate whose car's on my screen.
Oh, is that Junior?
Yeah. So, big fan of the EK9, as I was growing up. It was always one of my favourite cars for sure. And that's
Yeah, I don't know why, but I remember seeing one video and it was vivid. It was Gansan, one of the old boys in this
Gangsan,
morning.
yeah.
And he was just on like a test course, and it was when the EK9 came out, I think. And he was just ripping it like in brown leather brogues, just flipping.
I think I've seen those videos.
The pedal cam near white socks and like.
Yeah, it's like he's just popped out the office in his lunch break to go doing some freaking toge.
And it's wet, like the track is like slick wet, and he's just hammering it. And the way the thing moved, the way the engine sounded, I think that's what like triggered me. But then I kind of went off them, so my plan was to get like my first car was a Toyota Aygo, and that was inherited from my sister.
Nice.
So the first car I wanted to buy, my own money.
Did you crash the Aygo?
No, I've never crashed the car. Someone went to the back of me once, but somehow, so HGV went into.
I thought it was a law. I thought it was a law that you had to crash your first car, wasn't it? Then again, I didn't crash my first car, so maybe I didn't get that memo either.
No, but luckily, it was in one piece. I saw that. And then my first car, I badly wanted like an EK hatch. I was looking at VTIs at the time. This was 2016, maybe. So they were like decent price, like 2,000-3,000 for the VTI. V60. But my brother put me off. He says my brother's had a Mark 1 MX5 for like millennia now.
Yeah.
And he's had bad times.
Me and Alex have had an MX5 crash at points in our lives. I had a lovely little black V-spec.
Still on
V-spec Unos import. She was a beaut. See if I can find a picture. I might have a picture of that.
Get it up, man. Get it up. Or was it green like that?
Nah, it's black. I was never a fan of the green. Black. I was never a fan of. I mean, I know it's an iconic color combo in the MX5s, but I was just never a fan. Oh, there you go. It's on the stream. If you've got the stream on the screen, anyway, you should be able to see that now. But that was my little Mark 1 Unos with the old daisies, MX5 parts, full stainless exhaust, all the nardy bits.
Yes.
Just a cool little car. No, Brock, let's not play first car top trumps. Oh my god, B had's on it, look.
Wood grain steering wheel, nardy wheels as well.
Mark 1.
That was a Mark 1. The one I had was a Mark 1, yeah. Oh shit, it's gone. Hang on. I've got any pictures of the front. There you go, look.
Wait, this was your first car?
No. Well, this wasn't my first car, no. My first car was shit, mate. I had a Peugeot 205 GR 5-door. It was horrendous. But it was 300 quid, and it got me and my mates smoking about town like an absolute bunch of loons for next to no money. It would go everywhere on a thimble of deuce. It was a good little car.
Yeah, I think your first car doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your first car is.
Hang on, Don. Hang on. By the way, I'm actually live on YouTube. YouTube, he says. It's all right, bless him, throwing questions in my ear. But anyway, so we've been off piece there. Love MX5s, but anyways, let's go. Carry on.
Yeah, so you probably do. I don't know if had a good time or a bad time with yours, but rust is commonplace with Japanese cars from the 90s. So I got put off.
I sold it because of rust, because it just hit me at a bad point in my life. Didn't have the money around to fix it, so she had to go.
Yeah, weirdly enough, like Mark 1 MX5s that they haven't followed suit with the rest of the Japanese used car market.
So
yeah,
how many cars have you owned before this one? Like how many years into your car journey are you at this point when you bought the red Civic?
Okay, so this is my 5th car.
5th?
Yeah. So okay, I didn't get the UK Civic at the time I wanted it. At the time when it was affordable. At a time when I could have pushed. If I saved a bit more, I could have got an EK9 when they were like, okay, but probably I would have got stuck in my insurance. But anyway, yeah, I went for the FM1 Type S in the end because I wanted something 3-door. I wanted a Honda for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know for what reason, but I couldn't afford an SN2 insurance.
We know what reason why I wanted a Honda, mate, because they're sick. That's why everybody
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
a
yeah.
Harley. We can all
It
agree
was the
on that
best.
for sure.
When it comes to front wheel drive, I think Honda do it best. But yeah, so I'd F1. Like you mentioned earlier with the cold air intake, uh, it wasn't a good time when I put one on. I got the engine one.
Engine.
Long story short, it sucked up some water.
Oh, hello.
Bent the rod.
Carlos, that sound familiar, mate?
Oh man, he's had it all, eh?
Has he disappeared? He's disappeared. He
heard cold air intake and he chipped.
He had I think it was a Skunk 2 cold air intake kit from a Civic Si that he'd managed to get fit in an FN2 Type R. And going home one day, he just hit a fucking dirty great bit of standing water, and it ingested a ton of water and hydrolocked the bastard.
Well, this is the thing. What happened was I went out one night to Screwfix to get some shit from my dad. He kept pestering me to go Screwfix and get it. I don't know what it was. I didn't get it in the end because I didn't get Screwfix. But the first, it was chucking it down. First puddle I went through, it was fine because I went fast enough through it to push the water to the side. Second puddle, it was like a traffic light, so I set off. Car stalled. Tried to start it again. I think what happened was the water like splashed up and shorted something out. I think it was a battery fuse.
Yeah.
Something. Some fuse shorted out, tripped out. Well, I didn't know it ingested water until I got it back from the garage.
Oh shit!
So we saw the electrical fault out, and it was knocking like fuck.
Oh mate.
And bear in mind at the time, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with cars, so still don't, to be honest. And then, going to work. There's a route it's like a main road just before the motorway, and I was overtaking somebody, so I was giving it some third, and it just went bang. This is a loud bang, cloud of smoke in the rear view. And that was it.
Oh dear. No, you've not missed it. You missed a little bit, Carlos. But Kiret was just explaining a time when he had an engine intake and he had a bit of trouble with it, and it just immediately reminded me of the story and you scooping up a puddle in the FN2.
Oh, you did it in the FN2.
It did such a good job that the puddle wasn't there afterwards. So
just drank the lot, mate. Is he dipped in and gone again?
He's gone again, yeah.
He kind of goes, "Oh, what have I missed? I was waiting to get a word in, and then he's fucking gone again." Anyways, right.
So Skunk 2s that double up as wet vacs, you see. So
yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Forget Henry the Hoover.
I'll tell you what I'm missing, mate. I don't have any pictures of the engine in your engine bay at all. We're missing the money shots. Yeah, see, send us a couple of money shots, mate. So anyway, for anybody watching, either live or afterwards, I know Kiret through Instagram when he hit me up with I can't even remember what your issue was at the time, but you just sent us a message in it about to do with ignition wiring or something. Your starter motor weren't powering, was it? You weren't getting no signal to your
It's a bit embarrassing, Justin.
Well, it don't matter, mate. We're all friends here. We all go through this bullshit. Nobody's born expert. This is kind of why we all do it. To be honest, it's half the reason why I wanted to do something like this, so people can share experiences. Show where we fucked up.
Hopefully people do watch this. If they haven't read my blog, because I don't think a lot of people are aware of my website, my blog. But anyway.
Yeah, mate. Send me a link to your blog. We can put it in the Discord, and I'll add it to the description. But it's Soulfokus.
Yeah, I don't want to do
Soulfokus.
Yeah, I don't want to do a cheeky plug yet because I thought it's a bit.
Mate, I'm not making. I'm not making no money out of this. I've got no sponsorship or financial.
Yes, you have. It's called your back skyrocket, mate.
Well, yeah, no, but what I mean is I've got no financial ties to YouTube or my brand, if you want to call it that. That means I've got to put barriers up for other people promoting their own stuff. I've invited them to come here to talk about their experiences and all the rest of it. Feel free to shout it out. We'll drop it in the Discord. I'll drop it in the video description. sharing's caring. Don't make a difference to me. It is actually quite a cool blog, and your photos are pretty sick too. So, any Honda boys, you got loads of JDM stuff on there. It's not just your Honda, is it? You got quite a few bits and pieces from other JDM events that you've done.
Yeah, it's the website of the blog started out as just sharing pictures from when I went to Japan for the first time back in 2017.
Sick. See, he's already beaten all of us. None of us have even been to Japan.
No, I need to go. If you go, you won't come back.
You're sick, mate. One day. I've just got to earn some more dollar and stop spending it on cars. And then we'll
That's
be
the thing.
good.
You'll save it all up to go there and just blow it all. So.
Buy another car.
No, Captain, why can't you go to Japan? Well, because I bought a Japanese car, you dickhead. Brock Hadlow says, why does my K sound like a worm CR252 smoker? Oh, worn out. I can't read, mate. Yeah, worn out. Why? It don't sound like that. What's he chatting about? Man's trying to stoke division down in them comments up in there.
What's he on about? Literally full plenum full. Is he on
Yeah,
about
your car when you
filled your plenum and water, yeah.
when your car got thirsty and drank the puddle.
That was not a good time.
You got that video handy of it being emptied.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I literally like open the throttle body and then literally just tip the inlet manifold like you pouring a cup of tea out of a pot. It was.
Oh, here we go. Now we've got the money shot, lad.
I need to get a finished. Yeah, that's like
Nice.
midway through progress. But yeah, I need to get a finished like engine bay shot.
He's gone for the camo valve cover look. You can barely even notice it in there, look.
Can I say ditch the PRB inlet manifold? They are junk.
They are junk.
I mean, I did alright on the dyno. It made.
Bear in mind, Carlos,
230 on the wheel.
that's an A, not an A2. So it's got better rods and pistons, better compression, and whatever else they have.
It's just a camber.
Yeah, it's just the cams and high compression. If it's like out of a DC5 or a JDM EP3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the power steering all hooked up in the end, proper?
Yes, I did. So I used hybrid racing kit. Did you get that in Okay, so for those 3 people who are watching, or maybe there'll be more people watching after. If you do get a hybrid racing power steering kit, just be warned that your power steering, the reservoir that they supply, the one of the ports on it will be too big, and it's because it's a China part. It's a literal replica of an OEM power steering fluid reservoir.
So is this another situation where you bought a
It's a
K-Swap
situation.
branded
It's a situation.
part that doesn't do the job it was advertised as doing?
I don't want to throw shade on any companies, but
I think we ought to,
To
mate,
be
because
honest,
they're
like-
taking our money after us. They're taking. I mean, I could list 4 or 5 different things where I've spent good money on K-Swap specific parts which were either shit, broken, or didn't work, or needed modifying to work. And if you ask me, that's bullshit. They should not be allowed to take our money off us for such substandard tat.
did they rectify or did they?
No, because they already had me
Yeah.
money. They didn't give a fuck at that point.
Well, you had the
Yeah.
hard race bushes, didn't you?
Cost me
That
an
steering rack.
entire
that.
mate. That cost me an entire steering rack. I broke a rare DC2 with the high ratio gearbox
shit.
in it. Fucking snaps it
Yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
2. In fairness, Jack Halfblind has offered to fix that for me if I can find the earpiece. I did look the other day and I can't find the ear, so I need to turn my garage upside down. So, because that rack I actually did convert to a manual rack properly, and that half solved the issue I'm having with heavy steering right now. But anyway, so yeah, so this car, right, K20A, so it's diff gearbox, right, from the DC5.
Yeah, DC5, powertrain, drivetrain.
Sorted the
Yeah,
power
well,
steering
actually-
out. So what did you have to modify actually for the power steering? Just so we got some transparency. So if anybody does catch it and they want to know if they want to buy that kit, what did you have to fix or put right to make it work to get your power steering going?
Okay, like I said, I'll link it. I'll link the blog post in the whatever the comments or whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Just so you can see the photos. But long story short, I had to buy a silicon, like a reducer.
Oh, okay.
It went down from, I think it was Imperial, so because obviously it's American.
Yeah.
Had racing American units.
Good old inches.
Units. Yeah. So I had to put a silicon reducer coming off the power steering fluid reservoir, then an aluminium straight joiner, and then the rubber hose attached to that. But yeah, literally, like I looked at the lid, you know, the grey lid of the power steering, fluid reservoir.
The big lid.
The big lid, the grey lid. So there's writing on it. There's in English and Japanese, but then there's like a bit that says, it says blah blah blah, fill to this line above minimum. And then there's a bit, and then it's like Honda etched into the lid.
Yeah.
So the one that Hybrid Racing provide, it's got all this, it's got the same instructions and all the text and everything on the top. But where the Honda's supposed to be, it's just blank.
Yeah, that's pretty common from a copied part, to be fair, or an OEM.
Like
the other thing that also can happen, I had this with a Nissin brake part that I bought for mine. They have contracts to supply OEM parts to manufacturers, but when the supply contracts end, they're then no longer allowed to sell those items to anybody else outside of the manufacturer that placed the original order or the design. So what happened with it was the brake master cylinder. I bought a brand new Nissin OEM spec DC2 brake master cylinder. It came in a lovely little Nissin box and all of the rest of it. And I pulled it out of the box and I was like, fucking hell, this looks just like the Honda one that I pulled off. And then when I turned it around, it actually had the emblem of Honda that would have been originally cast into the part, ground off with a die grinder.
Oh.
So it was.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah. So it was legit the same Honda OEM part they were making for the cars when they were new, from the same pattern, same molds, all that other stuff. But because the licensing agreement's gone, they have to just fricking zip the name off.
Well, this was a weird one with this power steering tank because the parts were a different size. So they didn't match up with the parts coming off there.
Just to interrupt, Brock in the chat made a very good point just there. If it's not Honda, it needs modifying.
Yeah, we
have found that
so
much. It's nuts. So anybody looking to do a K-swap build or any Honda engine swap project, our advice as a collective is to buy as much OEM equipment as you can get your hands on, and you will have a much better time. Story ends right at that, really, to be honest, because literally all the aftermarket stuff we've had, I think coilovers were a dead easy thing. Didn't have any trouble with coilovers. That was a nice easy one.
Engine mounts.
Actually struggling. No, I had trouble with them as well. I'm actually struggling to think of things that went well that didn't give me shit.
No,
that were aftermarket. Okay, no, Mishimoto radiator and the K-swap rad hoses, the actual main upper and lower rad hoses, and the Mishimoto rad. That was a fantastic swap to do in terms of ease of fitting. That was a piss easy job to do. No dramas other than, so there was one. No OEM Honda radiator strap bracket is going to work on a Mishi rad. You have to either make one or modify one. So even then...
They sell one?
Oh, they might.
Sell one?
Did they? I didn't see that. I just made one out of a bit of scrap alley in the garage and away we went. So, but yeah.
Yeah, you can do it with angle grind and drill.
So, mate, tell us about the chassis on this car. You've got the engine. Well, let's start by saying you've got the engine in. She runs. You've driven it, and you've experienced the K-swap life. But tell us about that chassis, because that was a little bit of a find, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I bought the engine and gearbox. I bought the engine in December 2020. And the gearbox pretty soon after that. Then it wasn't until March Got my hands on this. Milano pink.
Milano pink.
EG9.
Standard Honda life, mate.
Official Honda Milano pink.
Yeah. It should literally have its own. It should have like a subsidiary code of the Milano red code for how far gone it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the number is. It's like.
What's the code for Milano red, boys? We've got some Honda boys here. They should know.
RH something.
I've got it. I've got it.
Is it?
R81.
There might be different versions of it over the years, though. Bear in mind, this is a friggin'
R81.
Oh, is that legit the same code right the way through then?
Oh, R81 Honda Milano red.
Yeah. Otherwise, changed the name, no?
Bear in mind, even on the FN2, there's like 9 shades.
Yes, there is, but there's only one paint code, isn't there?
There's variants of, yeah.
Ah, okay.
But, yeah,
isn't that fucking annoying? Crikey. So this
well, mine's not going to stay red.
Not going to stay red? Go on.
So my plan was good too.
My
plan was to get it resprayed. This coming year. But figured, what's the point?
What, cut full colour change respray or?
Yeah, door jams, glass out.
Okay.
Engine bay. But,
I mean, to be fair, I don't suppose. Well, yeah, I've left quite a few things on the to-do list that I was going to do before getting it on the road. Because we kind of got to March this year, and I was like, this is going on far too long, dude. I just want to go and feel this thing. I just want to go and be excited by it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So there was half a dozen bits and bobs on the list that just got shoved to the back of the queue. Like, I've got wings and a bonnet that are a different colour to the boot, and they're different colours to the bumpers. And some of the images you can't even tell difference, but in person you can see the shade difference, and it winds me up profusely. But when you're hooning up the road and you're ripping VTEC and jamming gears, you don't give a shit what colour it is on the outside. That's quite honestly the last thing on my mind. I think the first thing on my mind is don't crash. But yeah, no, man. That red though, mate. Honestly, if it's not completely mullered and lacquer peeled to death, it can be saved with a good detail.
Yeah, so
red.
Definitely, it's past this time, man. It's gone.
It's done. Finished.
You've only seen photos of it, so
that's true.
If you would see it in the real, the roof's badly peeling.
Oh, is it? That's such a Honda thing, man.
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos again. Do you want to chime in and tell us about the lacquer peel life?
It's horrible. It's just Honda.
It's a mad Honda thing, isn't it?
It's so piss poor. Like, if I could say anything bad about Honda, it's their paint, or at least these water-based paints in the later years.
You wouldn't get paint like that on a Volkswagen, would you?
No, because it'd have lead, it'd have asbestos and everything in.
And it's TÜV approved.
I don't think it's TÜV approved. No, I don't think it's a Honda specific issue. I think a lot of red cars, you see Corsa Bs.
Yeah,
red,
I think if anything,
it's
the problem started as a bit of an era specific issue. It was to save money on paint so that they could spend money on other parts of the car and also not add too much weight because light is fast and all of that jazz. But as a result, you end up with a paint job that can't stand the test of time, and it is such a common issue on them. Not just the red ones, the white ones suffer real bad as well. Generally, anything metallic is better. Whatever, I think they just have a lot more clear coat on a metallic base paint. That seems to be the difference that I've seen in my time, anyway. But
I mean, the FN2s may as well have come out of the factory with stone chips pre-applied.
Yeah. So Brock saying on the chat, my old Samba Green was brilliant, but Samba Green, correct me if I'm wrong, is that not metallic colour?
Yeah. So I think.
Sure, it is. Alex on the Googles, what's occurring on the Samba Green? I reckon it's metallic.
From memory, from seeing that car in person, it was metallic.
Or was it Tahitian green I'm thinking of? That was an EG colour, wasn't it? It was an EG colour, I think, Tahitian. Not entirely certain. All I know is Vogue Silver Metallic has aged pretty good. Although the roof is original paint, and that has started to go a bit dull and a bit meh. Wants a bit of titivating and rejuvenating.
Yeah, it's got to be metallic.
Have you not put machine polish to it?
I'm not, to be honest, I wouldn't trust a machine polisher on that. It looks a bit thin on the roof there as it is. And the roof tends to be the first place where they go real bad. Like everybody who gets bad lacquer peel always seems to be the roof that goes first. So, I mean, the whole car's going to get painted at some point in the future or wrapped, depending on which way the wind's blowing on the day I make the decision. That's if I ever make a decision, because I'm notoriously bad at actually making decisions. But so we've got a Milano pink EJ9. It's a pre-facelift car, isn't it, yours?
It's a 1996 P-Reg.
Yeah, so you notice you don't have a front crash bar, so you've got the Superleggera version. You got sunroof or no sunroof?
It's got the sunroof. I wanted the sunroof, to be honest.
Hey, they are kind of cool. They're just, it's like the scene reckons you not need to have a sunroof, but you've already got the lighter chassis anyway, so all Gucci. But mileage was, 13,000 miles on this chassis?
Yeah, one owner from new. It's around 13, something like that. Something stupid.
That's crazy, man. And it was an auto.
Yes, and it was an alright. It was a CVT, I think, but you know what? When I first got it, it moved. It wasn't it was slow, but it was like once you got it's the momentum. Once you got it going.
Yeah, it's power to weight.
You like it.
Power to weight ratio is science, isn't it? You can't change that. Don't matter how the gears are changed. The fact that you've got a little lightweight car with a little bit of power, and I mean a little bit. I don't even know what that would have been. But probably only the 75 horse version of that. Might have had the 9. Do you know what the engine code was?
D14. I'll have to check. It's D14.
Yeah, there's 2 variants of the D14 mostly.
They're about 90 horse, aren't they?
Well, the UK ones were, but there were some early D14s that were only like 75 horse.
I bet on it being 90 because it felt like, I've got a Mazda 2 and that's 105, so it felt as good as that. Yeah, well, as good as 90 horsepower could be.
And how does 230 horsepower on stock brakes compare to 90 with an auto box?
Yeah, on stock brakes it was scary. But, I mean, it's still scary with the EP3 calipers.
Oh, you've upgraded the calipers already?
Yeah. I had to. I did it before. I actually did it before my dyno.
So you're running. What discs are you running?
So I found a set pre-assembled on eBay.
Right.
Mini Cooper S R53 300mm discs.
300mm, but 4x100 stud pattern.
Still 4x100 because Mini Cooper 4x100 and it's just EP3.
Man's running bigger discs than I am.
I guess you need it.
Yeah.
If you're on 15s, it's going to be tight. I don't think you could run this.
No, you can't. I'd have to go to a 16-inch. I mean, to be fair, like long-term plans, that's something I'll look at. I'll look at upping the wheel to a 16-inch and getting bigger front brakes on it. But the rears, going to the rear discs is a big difference already as well. But I'm just gone back to your original photo, one of the original photos that you sent of where you can see the car sitting there. Now, I don't know what offset wheel you've got there. That probably looks like a 35 or a 38 offset wheel, at a guess.
No, I think it's just the lighting that makes it look a bit low.
What offset 42 wheels are they? Do you know?
Yeah, 16x7. I think they're plus 42.
Oh, 42. Okay, that's quite a sensible offset. But the tuck on that wheel in the arch compared to mine, like your tyres about 50mm further in than mine is, which is nuts because I've only got a 6.5J rim or a 6J rim. I can't remember what they are now. and the tyres almost touching the inner lip as it is, and that's because the MB6. This is a top Honda tip for any K swappers. Everybody goes for the 114 MB6 rear hub setup. It's shit because it, for whatever reason, the MB6 hub that bolts, like the hub assembly which bolts to the trailing arm, seems to stick out about 30 mil wider on each side. 30 mils a guess because I can't remember what the actual measurement is, but I can tell you it's a lot wider than stock. And as a result, it pushes your wheels further out and gives you a much wider track grip on the back, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. But if you try running a wheel with any sort of a non-Honda offset on it, you are screwed, and you're going to have to start bending arches and rolling arches and making a right old mess of shit. So at least by sticking with factory trailing arms, with factory width on your trailing arms, then you know you can run good offset wheels without any issue.
Yeah, going on to that point you made on like the nuance between Honda OEM parts, but like from different models, I think that's something people need to consider more. I had issues with my drive shafts popping out, K-swap drive shafts popping out.
Figure that out in the end. What was the issue?
Yeah, I just went and bought some proper fucking parts.
Honda ones?
No, yes, I was faffing about with EP3 Type R.
Yeah.
Drive shafts and then B series outer CV joints. I was doing all that mix and matching and all that shit. And I just wasn't having any good times with the driver side front drive shaft. So
I remember you saying about that. That was a weird issue, man, because I've not heard of anyone else having that same problem. But something weren't right somewhere, was it?
It's a very odd scenario, yeah. I haven't heard it a lot, but I've heard of people, I've seen on websites and on YouTube, people do have issues with the drive shafts popping out. And it's usually down to, it's incorrect like configuration of, like
normally, yeah.
Hybridizing parts, yeah. So I just went and got some K-swap passport axles and they bolt up, and I've done 1.5 track days. And, like the thing is, they were popping out. Like I was just rolling the car at the garage and they were popping out. So
that's not right. Well, you must have fixed it because I'm looking at this image now, where the poor little thing's still running on stock suspension. And the amount of axle articulation we're seeing here, if them shafts were coming out, they would have done by now.
I pumped in the test, yeah, so
mate.
Fully endorse Hasbro shafts.
Full monster truck mode enabled through this left-hander here. It's a cracking shot though, fair play.
Yeah, that was Robert Baxter photography.
I bet it turns some heads though, because it does look it just looks so standard. Other than the fact that you've lobbed that spoiler on it, it looks so standard just sitting there.
Yeah, this is all unintentional. I didn't ever want like a sleeper Civic, where it just happens to be, because
it's a work in progress.
Like I ain't got, you see the YouTube and like online internet builds, and they just chuck all the parts on at once.
Yeah,
that's a fantasy. That's a fantasy. That's not real life. Real life is
taking years to get to that point for normal folks.
Well, how long? When did you buy yours?
2018. And I sold a bike and a load of RC gear to buy the chassis, engine, and gearbox in one hit. And then I took out. I had a wicked deal on a 0% interest cash advance on a credit card. So I took a few grand out on that at that time, and I literally bought I'd probably say 85% of all of the parts I needed, pretty much right at the rip, right from the offset. Bought virtually all of the parts I needed. But then
the typical YouTuber thing, isn't it?
Yeah, almost. But I mean, it took me. I weren't in a position to fit none of it for a good while after that. I mean, I had parts everywhere. I had them in the lounge, dining room, in the fucking loft, in the kids' bedrooms, in the garage. The whole house was just full of parts, boxes. Like the ECU lived behind my computer monitor for almost 3 years before it even saw the car or a power supply, having bought it all that time previous. Which does throw up a bit of an issue if you're going to do a build that way, because like these parts were way out of their warranty period by the time I unboxed them.
Yeah.
So if there was any issues with any of this stuff, like I would have had a bit of a hard time trying to get either a replacement or my money back if they were faulty, broken, damaged, whatever. Because who's going to believe me when I go onto the old support forum or send them an email going, bought this 3 years ago, it sat behind my monitor, just pulled it out of the box today and it's broken. Well, they're going to go, fuck off, dickhead. No, nobody does that. You know, and you're gonna have a hard time.
Even offer? Any of the aftermarket companies even offer one?
Yeah, I think they do for a lot of stuff. The ECU in particular had a sticker on it saying, if removed, warranty void. Well, I pulled the sticker right off because I needed to wire in my wideband. So but anyway, it was already out. It was already way out of the warranty period anyway at that point. So
the wideband sensor or the gauge? Because they already. Oh wait, is it only JDM K series ECUs that use wideband?
Yes. Well, that and later like FN2, anything running a PRA ECU only uses narrowband primary. I think it is.
That's correct.
And the later ones like Carl's FN2. I don't know what the code for your ECU is, Carl.
RSP something.
Right. Okay. But yeah. So like if somebody's doing a K20 Z4 complete swap into an older Honda, they will be able to use the factory wideband with that ECU. It's just the ECU on the older cars don't have it. So for safety and peace of mind, I went with the AEM. And I wanted to data log it. So, I mean, it did the job, straight plugged into the exhaust. The gauge all works perfectly, and all you need is power and ground and signal to the sensor. But if you want to data log it and have it read out on your K-Pro, you need to run the analog wires to your analog input on your K-Pro, which, of course, means you've got to take the cover off, which meant I'd voided my warranty.
Right. Maybe that's what my problem is, because at the moment I'm not getting a signal readout on my hand data. Like the dash, whatever, on the dash on the app.
Okay, what for wideband?
Yeah.
You're not getting a lambda value. So what? DC5 Carlos, you may or may not know. Were they still on PRA ECUs on that version of the K20A?
I think so. You can pretty much load up K-Pro on installed on the computer.
What ECU are you running in your car? Right.
It's a JDM EP3, so it's PRD, they call it.
PRD?
PRD, yeah.
That'll still be running a narrowband then, I
Imagine
think.
it will be, yeah. I don't think it was until later.
Narrowband input, even though I've got the wideband.
What, you've got a wideband sensor in your exhaust, have you?
Yeah, the K series. I've only got one. So it's only using the primary input, and I'm pretty sure it's a wideband sensor.
Did that come with your kit, or you bought that separate?
No, I bought separate from Tegu.
There's a possible compatibility issue there, mate. I reckon. Without double checking the information online and seeing exactly what we're dealing with, it sounds possibly like the ECU is not compatible with a wideband lambda sensor, and that will explain why you're not getting anything going into your data screen on the live data or via data logs. But see, that's the issue that led me down the path of going to the AEM separate gauge and the gauge and sensor, because on K-Pro software you can just literally, it's two wires that go from the back of the gauge, which is an analog output. They go to the inputs on the little board inside the K-Pro, and then you set it up in your software, and away you go. Well, at least you did on the old version of K-Pro. They've updated it, and now it doesn't data log the lambda values.
PRA only uses a narrowband sensor. Can't even read a wideband sensor, even if a wideband sensor's installed.
Yeah, but is that the same ECU that comes in a JDM EP3?
That's using K-Pro, so that's basically just ditching whatever stock ECU, and then you've plugged in your K-Pro. So.
Right, yeah, it makes a difference what it came with originally, then, does it?
Yeah.
That's like I could run your engine on a K-Pro if I took the throttle fly-by-wire throttle body off it.
Not going to do toffee.
Same engine, isn't it, really? at the end of there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
excuse
no.
me.
Oh no, PRC is a JDM EP3 or DC5, which they have wideband.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking JDM, get all the good shit. They're made in Swindon.
Yeah.
They're made in the same bloody factory. Come on.
Well, even the US spec RSX or DC5, they come with wideband.
They did. All right.
Yeah, it's only the Euro spec.
Yeah, that's
cars.
it. Mug off the Euro, boys.
Tramp spec cars.
Yeah. They don't want to do the tunings. Don't worry about them. Give them the shitty narrowband, whatever.
Yeah, we don't appreciate it.
Clearly not.
Um,
Mate, what a thing. Well done to you for getting that thing put together. Because did you have much help? Was it you on your own most of the time? Or did you have a bit of help? Have you got a local team around you?
no, just that lad in the photo there. You can see with the camera.
Oh, right.
Hamza. Yeah, so I'm borrowing his space at his family's house. Got a decent sized garage, so I was using that. Yeah, he give me a hand when he could in amongst.
And what's your previous mechanical experience before this project like? What have you done before this to qualify to do a K-swap? Because I came into this pretty much unqualified, other than being able to read the internet and having some good mates around.
I don't know about that. If you call yourself unqualified, I'm flipping shit. I don't know what I am.
But hey, look,
disqualified.
She
well,
runs.
No, I don't know.
She runs, isn't it? You got there through using the internet, and the will to make it happen.
Yeah, you know what? The first K-swapped car, maybe the first K-swapped UK Civic I came across was a white. It was at Cadwell Park, and I think it was the time when I had a Mark II MX-5. I don't think I had it at that time. Anyway,
big MX-5 guy. He's been through them all.
Yeah. So I had a Mark. So after the Civic, the FM1, I had a Mark II, the 1.8 Sport. That was good times. But the rust started getting bad, and I was dailying that every day. So I was like,
yeah, rust, mate. It gets them all. It's the virus that gets them all.
Well, I wouldn't mind it for my second car, because then I could just keep it off the road when the salt's on. I just got rid of it. And then,
to be honest, that's one saving grace that I've had. Like you just touched on there, the fact that it was your only car at that time. That is a huge handbrake for the life of a car that's a bit different or a bit special or a bit rare. And Carlos and Brock and Alex really are all in a similar boat. They've all got cool cars that could be made a lot cooler if they weren't the only car. Do you know what I mean? Like Carlos's car still got full interior, full sound system, all of this stuff. To go fast, you don't want none of that shit. Fuck that off in the bin. But if you're using it every day, you don't want to be driving a car that's got none of that stuff, because it is hostile on a daily basis. Like, Carl, you drove my car, and it's not a commuter.
I don't think, in all honesty, it bothered me that much. I would literally just put on a Bluetooth pair of headphones, turn on the noise cancelling thing, and then, listen to my Spotify.
I'm not sure if you'd even. I'm not sure if you'd even hear it. Honestly, not at 70 mile an hour.
No, honestly, like my headphone, like the headphones I've got, like the cheap ones I normally use for like when I'm like out on my push bike or whatever.
Sounds like I need to get some new freaking headphones with the sound of this.
So look, horrible drone, like mine's quite drony, it's 70 to 80 mile an hour. I flick the noise cancelling thing on, and it literally just like cancels most of it out.
It's nothing like, your car's so different to mine. Like, your car's way noisier outside.
Yeah, it is a bit of a problem, and it does worry me a little bit if we come to going to tracks.
Don't know. I think when the sun comes out again in March, April, we'll have to go and do some flyby testing and just see what the readings come out at. But mine's pretty quiet. But geez, inside, at 60, 70 mile an hour, it's over 96 decibels. That's what you need to do, Carl, mate. It's when you're driving along, get on your phone. You have to hold it in your hand, not in the holder, because if you've got it in the dock, it'll pick up transient noise through the rattling of the thing. Hold it in your hand in the middle of your car whilst you're at cruising speed and just do a log of... There's loads of apps online you can get. I know it's not super accurate if you're going to be all scientific about it, but it's pretty close. It's a microphone. It knows what sound pressure is.
So you might as well have your ear against the lawnmower on full chat.
Literally, it's jets taking off. I'm stood at the side of an airport with jets taking off, with some dude with a fucking cement mixer one side, a whacker plate the other side, and matey with the lawnmower behind me. Like, it's ear shattering, 96 decibels at close range, and I am confident it's half the reason why I'm now pretty much totally deaf in my left ear from driving that bloody car. It is horrible. Horrible indeed. But on the outside, it's quiet as a fucking mouse in comparison to just about everything else with the K series in it.
Time to get some sound insulation, mate.
Behave, adds weight.
Dynamite. Yeah, you got that dynamite on it.
Yeah.
Still adds weight. I'm trying to make the thing get lighter, not heavier.
No, you just have more power.
Yeah, and better better earphones. I mean, I need to get some of those cans that Danny had at the dyno. He had like fucking 4 layers. Like, his cans were sticking out here, mate. I need some of them bad boys. I reckon they'll do the trick. But,
Headphones? Oh, I may be able to help.
No, not that.
No, not headphones,
not
mate.
that
These bad boys ain't got no speakers in.
Oh no, I can find you some good noise cancelling ones.
They'd need to be good. They need to be literally like construction safety devices level of sound cancelling before you pump any audio through them. That's where they've got to be at, because 96 dB, it ain't going to Scotland at 96 dB. That's a guarantee. Damn it, I'll probably be lucky to make it past Nottingham.
Anyway, it's not a headphone stream.
You're right.
So we can go there, but no.
So let's talk about, because we're starting to get a little bit long in the tooth here. What, we're 90 minutes almost. I'm down to 1 beer left. Let me grab that and then we'll carry on, because I said it would be about a 4 beer stream. We're probably not far off that now, so give me a sec.
Whereabouts are you from, Kiret?
Oh, I'm from Bradford. So
West
Yorkshire, just not far from where Sam.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Where are you from? Where are you lot?
Oh dear, the wife is having a very cryy time.
It's Justin's down Northampton.
Hey, big up south.
Little town of Grantham, Lincolnshire for me.
Northern.
Well, you're not far from Nottingham. You're basically Nottingham, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much Nottingham, yeah.
Oh, like the bottom of Lincolnshire then.
Yeah, south of the Wolds.
Oh shit.
I can't remember where. You're on the skinny bit, what I call the skinny bit of the country, aren't you? Is it Bradford sort of direction?
Yeah, I'm from Bradford. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a mate.
It's the middle.
It's the middle of the whole island. It's not the middle of England. So I call it the skinny bit, because if you look at the map, it goes like this round Wales, and then it tucks in
the neck.
Yeah, and then you've got Liverpool there, and then you've got like Skegness, not Skegness, freaking Scarborough. Is it not Scarborough? What's the
Whitby?
Whitby, that's it.
Yeah.
Whitby.
East coast of Yorkshire.
It's right in the throat, right in the jugular of the country.
In the skin, let's call it the skinny bit. Anyway, gone off.
It does get skinny.
Isn't it Huddersfield?
Huddersfield. Well, the reason I call it the skinny bit is because I can do the whole length for the M62 in about 90 minutes, but I can't go from the East Coast to South Wales, which is the wide bit, in half a day. So I'm slipping into courier mode here. We need to get back on the Hondas quick. So VTEC kicked in. What? Who's got the biggest donk? We should have that as like a feature. If this live stream thing kicks off, we should get some little videos all keyed up, ready to drop in for who's got the biggest VTech donk. Have you got the video of your dyno session on YouTube or anything?
Yeah, come on, let's share, man. Let's share.
Send the link. Drop a donk off. I like it. Drop a link in the chat. We'll chuck it up on here, and then it can come.
Got no donk at all. Not out the front, anyway.
Well, what you need is like I've got, which is basically just a fucking traffic cone for a intake system, and it'll just resonate through it.
Oh, mate, when editing the dyno video that just went out on the channel this week, I was watching the sound trace of my car on the dyno from behind, and you can physically see the big jump where the VTEC engaged on the audio trace. Oh, here we go. K28 dyno pool. 213 wheel horsepower? What?
Yeah, it was like
This is going to spawn another debate. Right, where did you get it tuned?
Block Developments.
Oh, that's TDI South. That's where I went, mate.
Oh, Developments.
Okay.
Yeah, that's TDI South.
Is it? You travelled all the way from up there down to London way?
Yeah,
Well,
because
you didn't want to be going to TDI North and getting the old 247 Magic, did you?
So that's a JCal tune, is it?
Yes, correct.
Good man.
Dyno.
213
Yes.
wheel horsepower. Fucking hell, Carl. That's not far off the heels of your K24.
Yeah, but it's still going to be tons of torque down.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, it's
we
only
know.
about
Hang on a minute. We know that torque don't mean shit in an FN2 when you've got an EK behind you.
Yeah, but I don't really want to spark off into this debate, mate. But like, if I strip my car out and I get my car tuned, then mine's going to be starting to pull on you rather nicely.
No, but you can't speak hypothetically.
Well,
like,
it would at that
car.
point, and it bloody should, because you've got
So
a shit ton
you're
more
not really
power.
comparing apples with apples. Like,
No,
mine's a
but
fully
as-
weighted road car.
as
Yours
they
is a
are.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, as they are. There's nothing between them whatsoever. Anyway, right, this 247 tuner. I need a K24. Maybe.
You did have one.
I know, I sold it to me mate Carlos, and then he loved it in his FN2, and now it's making 260 plus fucking horsepower. But anyway, let's have a look at this.
yeah, the audio for this.
Oh, it's on the hub dyno as well. It's all good. I can see the lacquer peel now. Oof. Right, so where's the donk? He would have gone for the donk early. Jesse loves an early donk. I've got to turn the volume up a little bit. Oh, there we are. Oh, mate. You hear the fucking speed pickup as the donk hits. So between 8 and 10 seconds, it hits VTEC, and there's a sudden jerk in how quickly the RPMs are rising. Might even be earlier than that. I need to go back to there.
GoPro for next Thursday, but shit ain't going anywhere.
What intake are you running on that car?
It's custom by the guy who did the LA Fab. He did the exhaust.
LA Fab, yeah.
He did a cheeky little short ram style intake using, I want to say 63 mil pipe, aluminium pipe, just a straight. So it's like a kinked
63
short
mil.
ram, so
You can make more power just by giving it more girth. Oh, hey up.
Yes.
Alex dropping the donk videos in. Hold on a second. I've just queued one up.
Donk,
Right.
do you reckon?
Now, you hear the intake when he's coming towards the camera in this video, though.
Yeah.
So, Kiret, this is Carlos's FN2. This is K20.
yeah.
K20.
This is K20. Is this K20 or K24? K20.
That's K20, mate.
Ooh.
We've not done a K24 drive-by FM.
We need to do that shit. Different exhaust in it.
No.
Mate, it sounds so different. Oh, still got the Asbo pops.
Yeah, but it's all the same exhaust. It's just that there'll be more pressure with the K24.
Yeah.
You've just got more volume being ran through. That's before I had to hit the exhaust. Oh yes.
Oh. Oh, mate. That's so rowdy, that cackle. I've not been to that location yet. Alex, we need to go there one day.
There's a guy on YouTube that takes like Lambos and stuff around that corner.
Yeah, seen him. I've seen it before. Something Dennis or something or other.
Yeah, not Ron Dennis.
Right, oh, here we go. We can do some direct donk. Hang on. There's a delay. If everyone's watching this through the YouTube stream, there's a big ass delay, isn't there? Hang on a minute. I can probably make this a bit better for us if I fire up the virtual webcam. Done. Feel left out. I'm Hondaless. There's Brock. Grabs a handful of Rodney. What for?
Uncle Rodney, he's coming out.
What I need to do, I need to go into here. Then there, and then Streamlabs OBS.
Virtual
there we
webcam,
go.
and you're not going to be putting out any audio.
Ah. Well, that's annoying.
Best thing you can do is share your screen and we watch it through Discord.
Alright. Let's turn off that and do.
This is where you edit in a little technical difficulties. Be right back screen with the music.
Please hold
I'll
whilst we
say
fix
like
the
some
technical
elevator
difficulties.
music. Just
Yeah, elevator music. Yeah, like
Right, there you go. But now I need to get rid of that off of my screen because it's going to pull that back into the stream because I've got that on there. So
move it.
hang on a minute. Need to go there. Display capture 3. Booger off. There we go. Right. Well, if everyone jumps on that stream inside the chat, Kiret, I know you've not done much Discord.
It's just be right back.
Oh, is he? Alright, okay. Well, we'll do the donkathon regardless. Let's go. A24 up first. It is good. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty sick.
it's a weird noise. It's not like the two-tone metallic-y B.
Nah. Because
It's
it's staged, isn't it? There's like almost a 500 RPM gap between like it starting and then fully on cam. Whereas I think the early ones, without the IV tech, it was a much more mechanical switch to the high cam. At least that's the impression. At least that's the impression I've got. Well, I can't think of any other reason why. The fact that you've got cam angle being taken into account now, whereas on the V series you didn't have.
I suppose with IV tech you've got cam advancing or retarding, and the lobes are probably much. The difference is probably going to be much smaller between the smaller and the high cam. Like I could take a photo now of my 2ZZ cam, and that was like a classic two-tone.
Gotcha. Donk cam.
Yeah.
Big donk.
Yeah.
Right, let's listen to the EJ9 donk. Let's go. Okay. Big tone difference, but not such a mechanical change in the tone. Let's go back to yours. Oh.
So it's the rod lights go.
Ciao. Oh, the jury's out on that. I think not one for defeat, but I think I have to say the K24 for the amount of, like, for the quickness of the tone change, I think the K24's got it. Like, there's a real sudden bosh in the change, whereas mine's a little bit more subtle. And I don't know if that's due to cam angle differences at play there. We'd have to look at the two maps to see.
Because I could soon tell you that.
I think weren't your angles a bit more aggressive on as approaching VTEC, and then they back off and then come back on? I think the step change in your cam angles on your map were quite a bit more aggressive than mine. If I remember rightly, because we talked about that at the weekend, didn't we, the other day?
Uno momento.
He's going to do some stonks. Meanwhile, Midnight Radio has joined the chat.
Nothing.
So
2ZZ.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nothing donks like a 2ZZ.
Nothing
true.
donks like a 2ZZ.
Yeah, so mine sort of like blends from about 25 straight up to 45.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll get 20 degrees of instant angle.
Yeah, I think
Angle
mine
slam.
was. I think mine was about half that.
Yeah, it's a combination between your lobe jump in size and how aggressively the VTC tapers.
Yeah.
Tapers in. I mean, you can make a K series sound like a B all day long with the way it crosses over, but
Well, I reckon Jesse's half nailed it.
It won't perform very well in terms of, you know, for what the K is capable of. There's no point in having it aggressive and choppy when you can make it smooth and more powerful.
That's it. Brock, are you hooked in on the live stream in Discord now as well? Can you see the screen share? Sorry.
Oh, I'm on YouTube as well.
Probably. Yeah, if you're on here, fuck YouTube off now, because it's going to be all sorts of delay and whatever's. But listening to this, I'm going to max the volume out. I don't know how loud it's going to come back.
I don't know if that's clipping in mine or not, or whether
it is a bit on both. I had to adjust the audio slightly because
it can't pick up the raw source.
Well, it can, but it's picking up the raw source too bloody well, and it's too close. That Rode microphone's really good, but outside stuff that's far away, for shit that's really really close, you just want to use the GoPro mic because it has the software control over the microphones then, and it gets you a better end result. But listening to that now, like there, straight off the bat, mate, it's a big donk.
Yeah, I think it's moving a relatively more significant amount more air.
True that, yeah.
What's crossover car? Is it
3.8?
It's low on that.
3.8, yeah. 3.8. So 3.8, your K20 is having to be spinning to around 4.5 grand to match the air movement.
Yeah, well, my VTEC don't come until 5.4.
Well, I think some of
so I suppose relative air movement's probably not a million miles off, but I think there's just so much fucking noise that by the time mine hits 5.4, it's
well,
just.
I think with yours, I don't think it's so much the FN2 cams coupled with the EP3 head. I think it's more to do with the fact that
it wasn't flowing enough air first time round, and the tune is not accounting for it.
Was probably quite turbulent.
Yeah, I definitely was. Like in the beginning of that latest video, you've got the air goes like down.
I think there's probably another 3 or 4 horsepower down the tube, and probably another 8 horsepower and 8 to 10 horsepower in the mid range on your car now.
We'll never know because I'm not paying to retune it before the cams go in. Oh dang! I'm letting the cat out of the bag.
I do think it's.
I was saving that. I thought I was on a private chat. I realised I'm streaming to the internet. I have to cut that bit out. Just everyone ignore that.
I think you ought to go to Jesse when that happens.
Let's just appreciate the donk on the K24 one more time. Oh, I missed it. I missed it. Come on.
I didn't even hear it. Completely silent. Going on.
I heard
Why
it.
is it silent? It's there. Here we go. Here we go. There's the donk. Ooh.
Still sounds rowdy when it bashes the
It is
limiter.
rowdy as. Oh,
Carl's little dance in the background.
See, I think the crossover donk on mine is more noticeable in this video on my phone from behind than it is with the GoPro up on the corner.
Yours
because
was loud when we were there.
Yeah, but not on video compared to Carlos's. Carlos's thing nearly fucking made me go deaf in the cell. That thing is proper rowdy and loud as. But this is a big difference in the, like, you can really hear the switch over in this one.
We know what we're doing if you end up going next time.
Yeah,
Turn that limiter up.
Down straight and pumping my tyres up to 48 PSI. No, dyno numbers. Mate, so 213. Going back to Kiret's EJ on the dyno, 213 wheel horse.
I think there's all sorts of weird variables involved with wheel horsepower. I think.
It is when it's even worse when you're using a hub dyno. It's even harder to calculate. But as a general rule, if they've used a DIN ISO 7010 correction factor, you should just be able to add the 13% in.
Well,
or was it
between
15?
10 to 15% on a K.
Is that why we went
normally.
with 13? That's sort of
No, I think we went 14 with mine.
14.
Yeah.
Right, so 213 times 14%.
Well, you just multiply by 1.14.
It
Oh, mate.
sounds daft, but even
Multiply by
the,
1.14.
Yeah.
Even the grease, the quality of your grease that's in your CV joints and the actual rubber boot is a contributing factor.
How funny is that? I used a totally different way of doing that calculation, but came up with exactly the same number. You just found a faster route to it. But interestingly, guess what number that comes out to?
347.
No,
250?
no, 242.8. So rounded up numbers, 243, based on a 14% drivetrain
but
loss.
bearing in mind, he's still got a stock PRC inlet, which is absolutely trash. He's not got a big donk throttle body. He's not got a big intake.
No,
So...
but for power, like that's what exhaust are you running on the car? So you got a custom intake that you said before, but it's only a 63mm pipe. What exhaust are you running?
As the throttle body. Exhaust is 275.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's
70
decent.
mils, not a bad size.
Yeah, it's all right. You can make power there.
It's got high flow. It's got high flow cut. And it's got a
Fucking
big
hell.
one. Yeah, and then it's got a spoon in one which doesn't really do much. That makes it down to 2.5.
Right.
Yeah,
that engine's gonna be a ripper when you let the fucker breathe. Like straight up.
260 horse written all over it.
100%.
Don't let it breathe. Just
But to be honest, I'd rather just have no talk.
Ram it in.
I'm in two minds whether to go high RPM.
Yeah, go for it. Send it, mate. That car don't weigh enough to worry about torque. Trust me. It just doesn't. Like the only time torque is a problem is when you're out of VTEC, because the car weighs so little that once you're in VTEC and you're into the higher power RPMs, it hauls ass down the road so fucking quickly that torque is just a non-issue at that point.
I don't know, because I think weight's a bit of it's relative, because on the weight bridge mine's 1100.
No.
And that to me is...
Well, the chassis is based... The chassis similar to a 2000 Type R. Well, what game are you referencing? Need for Speed?
Yeah.
So the 2000 Type R, is it a little EK shaped like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so chassis is mostly the same, isn't it? Apart from a couple of odds and ends.
Basically, it is.
Yeah, well, it is now because it's got a bigger engine and better suspension and all of that. So it's probably better than an eco now, but anyway. Bless him. Lad's just come down and goes, is your Civic a 2000 Type R? He's obviously playing Need for Speed upstairs and wanted to get the lowdown.
Try to get the specs off you.
Yeah. Mate, definitely. So that engine, that's set up in your car, right? So you've got an exhaust that could flow more. You've got an inlet that's basically strangling it. And what's the other thing? You've got a high flow cat in there that's most definitely strangling it. And it's still made around 242-ish flywheel, which is impressive.
Unless he's
it pulls well.
Say again, Brock.
Unless he's literally got such a weird, like, strange mishmash of size of parts that they all happen to work in perfect harmony and make a fucking mad number. You might alter something.
It's happened, but fucking hell,
on its face.
To get to that point by luck is mega impressive.
Yeah.
My philosophy has been like trust what Honda did from the factory and just like spool sports, right? All they did.
That's why everybody runs the RRC intake manifold because it's a beast.
Yeah.
Replicate what Honda were doing.
Yeah. The FD2.
Because they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So the what do they call it in the end, Brock? The K20AR.
Yeah.
That was the holy grail of big donk VTEC motors.
Which is
I don't know about the K22. The K22 in the Mugen. F120 Mugen.
That was started life as a factory engine custom crank job. That was a big thing. That.
Yeah. That's a holy grail, though.
Yeah.
Like the FD2RR with the K20. K20R, is it the RRA or something? It's got a weird thingy. But that's like, is it 260 horse out of the box? But it's obviously
fire. I'm heading there. I'm gonna make it. I want to make 260. I probably won't, but I'm gonna get close. I think.
I just want one of the four-wheel drive Accords.
New Zealand, mate. That's where we need to go.
Yeah, that was it. New Zealand got a four-wheel drive Accord.
Pretty sure it was the only market in the world that got that, wasn't it? It was the 8th gen with a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, right.
8th gen Accord with a 4-wheel drive set up in it. Beast of a thing.
Just 7th and 8th gen both had it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You have to talk amongst yourselves. I've got to go for a wee.
Yeah, there were 24 manuals as well. They come with an all-wheel drive system.
But only New Zealand, though.
Yeah, only in New Zealand, unfortunately. But
the right drive though, you could import one.
They share swappable subframes and stuff, so you can put them on a UK car, and you've got the tunnel underneath the car that's already there. So
is that what they do for? Because I know 4-wheel drive K-swaps, like EK K-swaps with 4-wheel drive, do use like a lot of CRV stuff, don't they?
Yeah, it's CRV or the old wagon stuff in it, the Civic wagon. Bits they use. But yeah, people don't really even know about the 4-wheel drive Accord. So like,
I've never heard of it.
Pretty sure people don't even use any of that 4-wheel drive stuff.
It's harder to get probably because it's rare.
Yeah, and in New Zealand, as far as I'm aware, car tuning is few and far between. The amount of the legislation I think and stuff they have to follow pretty much eliminates modifying cars. I think the scene for it is quite vague.
I think it's the same in countries like Hong Kong and like in some place in the Far East. It's just like you can't touch anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure New Zealand's quite strict. But at least if you do buy a car from New Zealand, and when you get it, chances are it's not going to be fucked around with. It'll all be as the manufacturer intended, so you know what you're getting.
And then you rip most of it out to make it a race car.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Honda Accord Mugen 24SC Supercharged K24A.
Oh, is that the one where it's on like a Oh yeah, the red concept car on like a spreadsheet, like an advert, like an advert page.
All built broke on the chats. Yo, I met this fellow at Caffeine and Machine. How's it going, my dude? I don't know how long that chat came in because all my screens have all gone a bit wonky. No timestamp. Why is there no timestamp?
2 minutes ago, 54.
How can you see that? Oh,
On
have
my
you got
phone.
the stream open on the YouTube?
Yeah, on my phone.
Ah, yeah. I apologise. I've forgotten the gentleman's name, but lovely chat with a couple of DC5s and an Accord. He turned up at Caffeine and Machine and a really nice Accord. Guy breaks Hondas on eBay. He's still here. Whee! Mate, you're more than welcome. Actually, I would love for you to come and join the Discord chat if you've got Discord, because I remember speaking to you at Caffeine and Machine, and I know your Honda knowledge is excellent as well, so you'd be more than welcome into the group. So in the video description on the live, you'll see there's a little code. Join the Discord group. The Accord is dead. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. And we're talking about a delay here, but yeah, mate, more than welcome to jump into the Discord chat. I apologise, I've forgotten your name. I'm 4 beers deep into this live stream right now.
I remember your own name, can you?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, don't forget that, mate. Need a few. Well, I would do, but I'd need a lot more than 4.
14.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Where are we sharing images and stuff to? Just
Send it on, send it.
Wherever you, well, what are you sharing pictures of, mate? We've got actual text channels for pictures and shit. But you dump it where you want, we'll find it.
I was just searching for information on the forward drive Accord, and I stumbled across something that Honda should immediately make.
Noble Chieftain, I'm here. Who's Noble Chieftain?
Honda need to make
Do
that
mutual
car.
service. Noble Chieftain, is that yourself there? Bought, built, broke. Is your Discord handle the Noble Chieftain? That's me. Ah, right, sweet. You sent me, I think that's a personal one, have you? Yeah. Right, so that's a direct message. So what you want to do is, I better check this for myself actually, because I don't actually freaking know. Has anyone got the YouTube live stream open in a browser?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is my Discord link displaying correctly in the description?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Captain as
So
well.
yeah, I'm already in.
Ah, sweet. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I couldn't remember whether I'd adapt that because I think I had an old code the other day. But so if you click the link to the Discord group, hang on, I can just add you to. I can send you. Now I'm a friend with you on here. I can send you I can wave at you. Hey, how do I invite Noble Chieftain? I'm gonna invite. Hidden use copy pattern. Okay, fine.
Hold on, it seems Japan did get a four-wheel drive wagon.
It did. Ah,
Yeah.
built, bought, broke. I can send you a direct message on Discord with the join link, so you should be able to get that from our little chat there, and then you can come in and join the voice chat if you've got microphone enabled. Ah, don't have permission to post. Right, hang on then. That's because I have to. I'm a pretty shit admin. Hang on a minute. We'll figure it out. Right, who we got in it? Right, I need to go to welcome. I think there's a time delay set on it unless I do it manually, but I can just click on your name there and I can give you the role. Oh, it's just done it. There you go. Right, there you go. You should be able to join in the voice chat now, mate. Noble Chieftain has just landed. That's a great handle as well. Chieftain was a tank, was it not?
Yep.
Carlos,
Don't get him started.
take the floor, son.
Although that's not spelt, I don't think right.
Oh no,
I
it's
think
not. It's
spelled
not
like
spelled.
Chieftain or.
Yeah. No, the
Chieftain.
actual chieftain tank is spelled T-A-N. That's T-O-N.
Yeah, I won't go into it, but they were unreliable as hell.
Just Honda didn't make them.
No, it's actually British Leyland that made them.
Oh fuck! Oh, did they have hydroelastic spastic suspensions to hold the tracks up?
No, it was something just stupid at the time where the whole world was going nuts about, obviously worried about resources, and basically
What, like
all
now?
the countries got
That's
told
ironic.
to- Huh?
Like now? That's ironic.
Yeah, and basically they said, like, right, you need to be able to run the damn thing on paraffin, diesel, crude oil, and basically had to run on 7 different different things.
Yeah.
And we were the only one. British Leyland got the contract.
can't
We were the
pass
only.
this, mate.
We were the only people to actually develop an engine
Yeah.
that had run on all these different fuels, and it took about 8 hours to actually swap it to run from diesel to something else, and it was just a terrible engine.
Yeah, that's not ideal. If you're in the middle of battle and you run out of paraffin and all you've got on the fucking wagon is diesel, you don't want to be holed up, sat there for 8 hours whilst you're trying to swap
your fuel pipe and system over.
What they need is a flex fuel sensor.
And then what they did, like the NATO thing, like 2 years later, it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to use that. We'll just let everyone use diesel. So.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
There's one for you, Justin. Just put a link in.
Where'd you put the link, lad?
Can't pick
Vids.
vids.
All right. Oh,
Facebook one,
Rock,
unfortunately.
mate, who's done? Is that a render, or are they actually going to launch that?
That
It's got to
should
be a render.
that should be a thing. How good does that look?
That is
It's a buy.
buy.
That is a buy.
That is a dad buy. Like right now, take my fucking money.
I genuinely think that you know because people,
With a 400 horse K20C in it, you are going to be getting school runs and chip runs done in frickin' express time.
It's one of them things. There's people that our age group, a lot of us now have.
We're at a
settled
time of
down,
life where you got to
but
have shit wagons to move people about.
Yeah, we're at
literally
that
it.
stage where you're a parent, you've got a family, you've got a house. You need all of that family practicality, but you still have that part of you
that itches for 400 horsepower.
You've just spent the last 3-4 years of your life building a race car, mate. Why can't Honda just make that? Because you just go and buy that.
Not profitable for them.
Why not?
It is in America, it seems.
Because I bet you they're gonna do a fucking Tourer of some description. Well, saying that, hang on a minute. There is no current FK series Tourer, is there?
There won't be.
No,
Not from the most modern. Not.
You got to think everything's going SUV now. You know, saloons and
Gosh, though,
estates
innit?
dying.
Who wants a fucking right? Okay. We might have to end the stream because we're going miles off topic here right now. But the environment is dead or dying or about to die, according to the COP26. We've all got to do everything we can to stop the global temperature increasing, yada, yada, yada. So why is it that America and China are making their cars bigger, heavier, less good on fuel? I do not understand the logic there whatsoever. Like Japan, K-car stuff, cities. You want to come into my city? You're going to drive a little tiny 600cc thing with a whizzer on it that's super efficient and doesn't emit a lot of shit. But if you want to drive a big dirty diesel thing, we're going to say no. You can fuck off. You can drive that out in the countryside, make all the farmers die, but you're not bringing it into the city where all the money makers are. Weird.
And yet they still all travel to a country when like you could just do a Zoom meeting, or you could.
I thought that.
Or they could have a fucking Discord chat about the world's.
Oh, Bezos, let's take 16 private jet flights on my way to Glasgow to go and tell everybody that whilst you're spending millions on my Amazon platform and I'm sending diesel vehicles to your house, that you've now got to pay more for your gas and you've now got to stop driving modified cars because you're emitting too many emissions.
Yeah, and then just go.
I smell a big dirty rat.
Yeah, get yourself like a Scottish crunchy box while you're there and 2-litre bottle of Iron Brew.
Oh, oh, mate, and a Scotch bonnet and a VAG.
I'll have a wee stotty.
A stotty. Oh, that's from Newcastle. That is. That's not Scottish.
Is it?
No, that's
Wow.
Stotty. That's a Geordie thing. Stotty. I don't know what they call a Cornish pasty up there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream, but the live chat can carry on because the Discord chats are all still in here. But I'm gonna end it on that sick concept of what absolutely should happen. Saying that, in America, I think they already have a card that looks just like that. I can't remember. It's
What's it called?
No, it's not the TSX. That is, well, not Honda. Acura have it. It's not the TSX. It's something else.
L or
LS. I'd have to look on the website, but I saw it the other week. And I was like, "Ooh, that's nice." But
I was only searching for four-wheel drive Accords, and
shit.
they are right-hand drive and left-hand drive, I believe.
That guy's
Cool.
got that. That guy's got that shit down. That looks so good. Because I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of the 2022 Civic front end. I think it looks a bit too bottlenose dolphin for me.
I like it. The only reason I like it is because I just imagine it as an Accord, because I really like
Yeah,
the
that's
Accord
where I
that
can't.
that America got.
Can't make that shift, mate. Civic's not a big car. Well, it's grown over time, but it's just not a big. Like, that's a Civic, you know.
Good.
That's
I'm a big
that's
Accord
a
fan,
proper
so
Civic.
for me, the new Civic is the
I like
Accord we
Accords.
lost.
Accords are good.
Yeah, it's the Accord we lost, and the way I look at it, they've given the Accord back, and the Jazz is your new Civic.
Facebook watch. Oh, hold on. Throttle bodies. Oh, mate.
Nice.
Did y'all hear that?
yeah, it's up my ears raped.
Don't even get me started on the fact that the fucker didn't have any lights on. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, yeet, get rid of that. Oh, man. Yeah, that was definitely on throttle bodies. 100%. Right. Oh, my God. 2 hours and 6 minutes. I think we may have bored everybody on the internet to death for that. But I had a great time. So we're going to end the live stream right there. And then we can get into all sorts of crazy shit on the chat. Peace out. Next time, maybe we'll do it again. Maybe we won't. We'll look at the numbers and see what works. Adios to the
Bye,
live.
YouTube.
Bye,
Peace.
YouTube.